Welcome back to the Two Thinking Apes podcast. The hot streak continues with episode 11.
Say it another time. Fuck the hot streak.
It continues, mate. Baxter Holt, a friend of mine from uni who now has gone on to play cricket in the Big Bash for Sydney Thunder. I had a quick look at you. You have a Wikipedia link. I don't know if you know. So you've already made it in that. You've got your own Wikipedia because I'm not really versed with cricket, but welcome, Baxter.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us.
I was thinking maybe start off with a bit of a background of how you got into cricket and then the balance between uni and how you got to doing what you're doing now.
Yeah, definitely. So I originally got into cricket just like your normal Australian kid, growing up watching it on TV, the typical Boxing Day games and all that. And I grew up watching the likes of Adam Gilchrist. So he was my inspiration getting into it, and he was the reason I started playing cricket. He's made it bloody hard for me at the minute because he's reshaped the way that keepers have to perform. So I've got to be able to bat because of him. So I hold that against him. And I told him that last time I saw him, which he had a giggle at, which was nice. And then your second question in terms of uni, we're very fortunate in we've got people that sort of not force us to do it, but they push us down that area to study something, give us a balance outside of cricket, because especially last year and this year, what it's looking like with bubbles and that, we really need something to keep ourselves busy when we're really looking at four walls when we're not playing cricket. So to have that balance about life is really beneficial.
Are you studying what Taylor's studying? Like law and finance?
No.
I was going to say,
not
thank
smart,
God.
That's for sure.
No, you're not as boring.
Oh, thanks, mate.
I'm on to my third degree in 3 years. I haven't finished any of them, but I'm now into
What are you doing now?
psychology.
What did you? Oh, really? I want to know about that. That interesting.
Yeah.
I was going to do that. What did you do first?
So I was doing sport and exercise management first, and then I didn't enjoy it because I didn't feel like I was learning anything because it's just what I do from a day-to-day basis with cricket. So then I went to a Bachelor of Counselling, and the uni wasn't too fond of me being able to play cricket and missing.
What uni?
The Australian College of Psychology. It was.
I never heard of them.
Yeah, so they didn't really appreciate the fact that I had missed too many assignments and that because I wasn't able to sit in. And now I'm at Swinburne Online, which is a really good place to study, and it actually enables me to play cricket.
That's pretty well. How much is the commitment of cricket? Because we were talking to someone who plays for the Brumbies, and
he said, Bailey Coonsall, Bocker.
Yeah, heard of him.
Yeah, we talked to Bocker last night, and I can't even say Bocker without laughing. I know him as BK. Anyway, and he said that he's doing one subject a semester, and even that's like, it's just annoying. Like, it's just an extra.
Yeah, I only do one subject, mainly because I don't really have the motivation to do it.
That's what he was saying.
But the one subject still gives me time to have a life outside of cricket and uni. We are extremely busy. It's our pre-season at the minute. We're still training 4 or 5 days a week. And the time we have off, I want it to be off. And then especially during the summer, like we'll play cricket nearly every day of the week, and if we're not playing cricket, we're travelling. So to have a balance outside of cricket, you sort of need, uni's good, but you also need time to be.
Yeah, you need time for yourself, of course. Well, is it every day training?
Yeah, so at the minute we're training Monday, Tuesday, have Wednesday off, train Thursday, Friday, and sometimes have a run or something to do Saturday. And then next week we start up pretty much 5 days a week, having Saturday as well, and then we go away in a few weeks to start the season.
Where's going away look like? I got no idea for cricket that much. I've watched one Big Bash live.
At the minute we're still up in the air, but it'll be a bubble again, so we'll be away for 7 weeks. So it's looking like.
At least they got the season going.
Yeah, that's right. But we'll be away from home for 7 weeks this first block by the looks of it, and then we'll be home for 3, and then we'll be away again for 2 months. So it's looking like it'll be a long season, but it'll be interesting.
And is that going to be like a struggle for you to be away from everyone?
I did it last year. Big Bash last year we had 2 months, so we went into a bubble on the 1st of December and came out the 3rd of February. So we were away from everyone for Christmas and New Year's, which is a real struggle, especially the Christmas and New Year's. Sort of just turn my phone off for those days, and just, especially New Year's, you see all your mates on social media
Everyone's
going out
together,
drinking and having a good time, and you're locked in a room and can't do anything. So that was a bit tough, but I'm pretty lucky at the same time to be able to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Did you know that you wanted to play cricket professionally the whole way through school, or when did it turn in your mind that actually this could actually become something more than just a hobby or something that I'm good enough to play a few grade games in?
Yeah, so there was an under-15s comp that I was playing for New South Wales, and I didn't get selected in the Aussie side, which I was quite upset about at the time. And then I came back to school, and the head coach at the time was like, well, you can go about this two ways. You can get really upset about it and start kicking stones, or you can actually work harder and try and prove people wrong and actually make a name for yourself. And I actually broke my arm playing footy that season, and that was the end of my footy career, which smart, dumb choice. I don't know how you want to look at it now. But that gave up rugby. Yeah, well, maybe.
You can do
that gave
both.
up. Well, I used to be. They're too big for me now. I stopped shrinking. I stopped growing a long time ago. But yeah, and then I started training 25 hours a week for cricket when I was 15. So that was probably the moment where I realised that I had a pretty good gift and I wanted to make a crack at it.
Oh, fuck. That was young. That's like rare to see someone who knows from that age and they're actually doing it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't have the academics on my side either, so I had to sort of.
You went all, yeah, but you went all in. That's why. I'm sure if you went all in academics, far out. So there would have been like a lot of sacrifices then from 15 if you're doing that.
Absolutely. I think anything that you're good at or you achieve in life has to come at the cost of sacrifices. It's just how much you're willing to sacrifice to achieve them. Like, I don't think I went to a party for the back end of my school life, because I was playing cricket Saturday, Sunday. So
I didn't go to parties either, but I was just not invited to many.
That was also my reason, but we don't go that one. We leave that one out. I always have a good excuse, I like to say. But all the parties were Saturday nights, and I was playing cricket Saturday and Sunday, so I couldn't possibly get to them. So
how long is the day? Like the cricket day is all day, isn't it? I did it like in year 8 or something. And I just remember being there all day, and I'm like, yeah, no, not for me.
Yeah, correct. You made a smart idea. So a 4-day game or a multi-day game, we rock up to the ground at 8:30, and we don't leave till 6:30 at night. Oh, fuck. So it's a long session, but they're good fun. I've been lucky. I've travelled most parts of the world, and I've travelled all around Australia playing cricket. So, and I'm 21, so yeah, it's pretty special.
Well, where have you been around the world? Yeah, I know it's a good resume, mate.
Yes, not bad. But I've been to the UK twice, Italy, France, New Zealand, Sri Lanka twice, India once, and then all around Australia. So
Sri Lanka, good. I really want to go to Sri Lanka. Not to play. Well, if I was good enough, I'd play cricket, but I'm not. So, but as a place, did you get to explore it much? Is it a nice place?
Sri Lanka's good. Sri Lanka's a lot cleaner than India. I'd definitely go back to Sri Lanka on a holiday if I wanted to. India, probably not so much. They're both incredible eye-opening experiences just because they're so different to here. But their perspective on life is so much better than what we have.
Like in what way?
No, it's funny that because they're like, in all honesty, we should have a better perspective on life because look at us and they're in literal slums.
Yeah. I when I have this conversation with a lot of people, you sort of look at it like we have access to so many things, yet we're probably not the smartest generation to ever exist.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because we got everything at our touch of the fingertips. But when you look at people from those types of countries, they have nothing and they have to make the most of what they've got and they do it better than anyone.
I reckon it's because we have too much choice. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because when there's too much, you're just indecision and you do nothing. Whereas like if you've only got one choice, you go all in that and you don't think about it as much, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's what I think. I don't know.
There's a book I was reading called The Resilience Project. I'm not sure if anyone's read it. But it's about this guy from Melbourne who went to India and did teaching over there. And one of the boys one day took him out to the playground and there was a swing set. It was all rusted. It was falling apart. And the boy goes, "Excuse me, sir, are people in Australia this lucky to have a swing set like this?" And it was his swing set that was falling apart. And he goes, "I didn't want to tell him the actual truth. So I just went along with it and said, yeah, they are." It's incredible that someone with a swing set that's falling apart was so blessed and grateful to have that.
That's good perspective.
Puts it in massive perspective.
I guess that makes you feel grateful, I guess, for you get to travel the world, like you said. So the sacrifices aren't that like bad in comparison.
No, you can put it in perspective. Like we're always told, like, yeah, we're away for like this year, we're probably looking at being away for 6 months in hotel rooms. But at the end of the day, we're providing so much entertainment and an escape for everyone else that's going through the tough time. Like people have lost jobs, people haven't seen family members. Yeah, and we're able to give them 3 hours of relief a night.
Well, how often when season's on, is it once a week, a game for Big Bash?
Big Bash is every night there's a game on for Big Bash. from about the 1st of December to the 26th of January. So
Oh God, I didn't know that.
yeah.
And
So if you like cricket, it's your time
yeah.
to be watching it.
For Sydney Thunder, when did you get signed? And has it been the same team you've
Yeah, so
been
it was a
around?
strange one. So I was signed, when was it? I played last year. I didn't play a game the year before because my back gave up on me and I was injured all year. So the year before
God.
that, so what's that, what are you in? 2021? 2019 was my first game.
Was that fresh out of school or during?
No, it was 2 years up. Oh, maybe it was 2018. I don't know. It doesn't feel like that long ago, but it does. But I actually wasn't contracted with them, and they had a few injuries, and I got a phone call one day that, yeah, you're flying to Perth tomorrow night, if that's all right. And I was like, well, yeah, okay, fine. If I have to, yeah, I'll be there. And then I made my debut for Sydney Thunder a couple of days later, which was pretty special.
How'd you go on the debut?
Pretty sure I watched
Nerves?
that.
Yeah, it was good fun, actually. I think I scored 37 maybe into a couple of catches, which is good. So it was a nice, good start, and then it's been downhill since then. But it was a nice night. And then, yeah, I've been pretty lucky in the sense that I'm contracted with them and I get to travel the country and provide entertainment, like I said before.
Well, how common is injuries in cricket?
Yeah, it's pretty common. It's just how long you're out for, really.
So your back was your worst?
Yeah, so I had a bad back. Pretty much my whole professional career, I've had a bad back. And then I played on it for about 18 months and about 6 painkillers a day to just try and get through and try and hide it a bit. And then it got to a stage where they were doing absolutely nothing. So I pulled the pin for 4 months and it just happened to be during the cricket season. And it was a good thing because I completely burnt myself out. After 18 months of trying to push through an injury like that, you get to a stage where you're like, well, I can't do it physically or mentally. Like, I'm pretty burnt out here. I need some time off. So it was a blessing in disguise, really, to have that time away. And then now I'm back to full fitness, which is the first time in about 3 years. So
fuck yeah.
It's taken
big things coming, huh?
Yeah, don't jinx it.
No. You're going to be shit this season, don't worry.
Yeah, probably.
What was wrong with your back? What was wrong with your back?
So I had a bulging disc that was compressing a nerve. So I had a lot of sciatic pain down my leg. So about 24/7, I had pins and needles in my leg, which was good fun. And then I was just trying to suppress that with painkillers. And then obviously playing cricket on top of that. So I think I played 60 games of cricket in a year, which is a lot.
Yeah.
And on a dodgy back, it wasn't a great feeling.
Yeah. And did you have surgery or what did they do about the disc?
I was booked in to have it operated on. And about 2 days before we pulled the pin, the Aussie physio rang me and said, before you do that, because you're only 19, can we just try one more thing? And I was at the stage where I was like, tell me to do absolutely anything and I'll try it because I don't care what it is as long as we do it. So I did a telehealth conference with a guy over in Perth who's one of the best in the world. And he explained to me that, yeah, you've got the underlying problem with the disc and that's always going to be there. But because you've been stupid enough, smart enough, whatever way you want to put it, to play on it for 18 months, all your muscle completely seized up around it. So that was actually causing me more grief. So I had to spend the 4 months relaxing all the muscles and then reteaching myself how to move in a way that I wouldn't cause pain.
Oh, fuck. So what was it from? Like batting, running?
Yeah, just complete overload of
everything.
All those muscles. Yeah. Well, because on a typical day of cricket, like if we're fielding all day, I do about 600 squats.
Yeah, okay. Just picking up the ball and whatnot?
Yeah, just from my keeping.
He's a wicket keeper, Talon. Talon has no idea.
I have no idea for cricket and that. You got to teach.
Yeah. But yeah, so like a big bash game for Sydney Thunder, I'll do 120 squats. For a game, 50 overs, I'll do 300. And then a long format game, I'll do 600 in a day. So it's a lot of squatting.
Big quads? Trunks?
Not big as I'd like, but they're not small.
At least you got that.
No, you got some stocky thighs yourself, don't you, Tay?
Oh, not anymore. Now that gyms are shut, like I did before, of course. Yeah. Shut up, Costa. What I was gonna say was, you said before the disc, you said you had a problem with the disc. So could that just flare up at any time? That's one of the problems.
So back into last season, it's just a matter of trying to manage it. Last year we played 4 games of cricket in 4 weeks, which flared it up a bit, but it's just managing and finding ways that work now. Now that I've had all that time to recover, I know what works and what doesn't. So it's just managing and being smart with it, really, which has never been a strong suit.
Did you
I
say you
was-
had to reteach yourself how to move? Is that just your technique while keeping and batting, or is that literally in everything you do?
No, we completely stripped away cricket. Cricket wasn't a focus for the first month. It was just how do I get back normal life skills. I wasn't sleeping. I'd probably sleep. I'd get to bed about 1:30 in the morning, and then I'd be up every 45 minutes, just rolling over.
Fuck.
And then it was little things of standing up out of chairs. I don't think we ran for about 8 weeks. So just making sure that I used my legs and all the other muscles I've got instead of my back and putting a lot of pressure on me. So yeah, we spent 4 months retraining myself. Not
Was
to put
that
in
weird for
pain.
you taking out cricket from your life, seeing as it's been such a big part since you were
It was
15?
a massive mental approach because
Yeah,
when you
I
put
can
that much,
imagine.
when you train that much, a lot of your self worth's on your cricket, and when you
Yeah,
take cricket away from you, sort of what are you, sort of thing. So it took.
yeah.
I spent all that time not refining myself, but finding other things that I enjoy doing in life. So whether that's helping people, I don't know, playing guitar,
Yeah,
doing other sports, just finding other things that work.
that's fair enough. Well, I guess it is a blessing because you don't want to imagine if you had a like career-ending injury, then you'd be in deep shit. I guess.
Exactly right. And that's why uni's so important, is because if you look at it realistically, yeah, I could play cricket till I'm 35, which is an absolute miracle if we do. That's the end of end of our career. But if I get injured tomorrow, what have I got back to fall
Mm,
onto?
that's what I was going to ask you next. What's the average career? So 35 is people retire usually, or
Yeah, 35 is the average retirement. So you're doing well if you make it to 35.
yeah.
So
Okay.
realistically, I've got another 14 years at it. And then I got to
Well, that's good. Touch
Fingers
wood.
find something else to
crossed.
keep me busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So psych's now
Yeah,
the
why
degree you're sticking
psych?
with.
Is
Yeah.
that from the? Is that because you want to help, like the helping people aspect? Is that what made you choose that, or how did you
Yeah,
get to?
absolutely. I think it's people say that we've experienced things so other people don't have to, sort of thing. But also, I've always enjoyed, like, one of my strengths and something that I get my most joy out of is helping other people. I'm an ambassador to a charity, and I go to hospitals when we're allowed to, and just spend some time with
Fuck
kids,
yeah.
just to reach out, take my mind off me at the end of the day, which helps a lot. But yeah, so then I was interested in how the brain works and all that sort of stuff. So I started that. I did counselling at the other uni, which is probably the better option. But with the job, we just can't do a counselling degree. So I went into psychology, which is a lot more the theoretical side of it.
What charity are you an ambassador with? How did that
It's cool.
start?
Yeah, it's the Cooper Rice Braiding Foundation. So Cooper passed away probably 3 years ago now, but he had sarcoma cancer. So that's what it's after. And I actually met him at school. He played for the first at grammar, and the coach came up to me one day and said, "Oh, is it all right if we play 12?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine. That's not a problem at all." He goes, "Yeah, the kid's just come from hospital, straight from his hospital bed to play cricket, and then he's going to go back after the game."
Oh
And I
god.
was like,
Jeez.
"Wow." Because for us, like, now, it's a job. Like, it can be a job at the end of the day.
Mm.
Yeah, it was a hobby and we really enjoyed it, but there is that job element now, and that for someone to do that, to come off his deathbed to play cricket, to go back, really puts in perspective how lucky we actually are to do it as a job, and give you that perspective. So I sent him a letter at the end of the day and said just how inspirational he was, because yeah, he wasn't at full health, but he would do anything to play the sport that we love, or that I
Yeah.
love to do. And then he passed away, and after the funeral, the family came up to me and just said, "Would you mind being an ambassador?" I said, "Not a problem at all." So do a bit of work with them, which is nice, and just, yeah, spread
What does
the
that involve being an ambassador? You just spread
um,
their message and you go to hospital. Like,
yeah, go to events. So they'll have a Mother's Day breakfast. They'll have different cricket events, different other events all throughout the year. So just showing face to them, or if I'm on interviews or something like that, and the topic comes up, then talk about it and spread that
yeah.
awareness like that. Because unfortunately, the disease is younger Australians or younger kids. He was 18 when he
Really?
passed away, so
Oh shit.
it's a life taken away, really. So it's not impacting the elderly; it's impacting the younger ones of society.
Fuck. That puts a lot of shit in perspective.
Do you have
Absolutely.
any? Do you have personally any regrets with anything you've done that's gotten you to where you are now?
Absolutely not. I think it's funny, when I had the time out, I was one of the few people that had gone through injuries and that, and the same sort of headspace that I was in. And one of them said, "We go through a lot of rubbish, but I wouldn't change it I wouldn't wish it on anyone else, but I wouldn't change it for anything, because at the end of the day, it makes you who you are. And I am so much stronger and well equipped to face anything now from what I've been through. And I've learned so much more about myself and how other people tick. And if I can sort of spread that, or not even spread it, but show how people can overcome things, and hopefully one day someone doesn't have to.
Yeah, it's a fantastic attitude.
Yeah, fucking hell. Which Baxter, this is deep, man.
Yeah, Jesus. I need a drink.
Yeah.
About that time, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I had a kombucha before this because every time we do one I have a scotch, but every time we start doing it back to back now and start drinking, it'll develop a bad habit.
Yeah, mum had a crack at me. Yeah, mum had a crack at me about it last night.
Yeah, I bet she did. Dog mother, huh?
Yeah, the Greeks.
You just got to hide it in the morning. You'll be right.
Nate, on Saturday, I was playing poker with Taylor and a couple other mates, and I went to bed, and she came into my room at like 9 o'clock the next morning and said, "What did you drink? I can smell it in the corridor," and just started going off.
Yeah, how big a Saturday night did you have?
He had a big one.
No, but like they just know. They just know. It wasn't bad. Like it was all right, but it was big. But it wasn't.
Speaking of drinking, can you drink when you're on season, or is there a diet or anything?
Yeah, do they make you go through like a planned diet?
No, absolutely not.
That's good at least. Fuck.
Yeah, especially like for us, a 4-day game, usually we go out on the last night just to celebrate or drown your sorrows for a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, we're lucky. At the end of the day, we're cricketers. We're not runners or anything that has to worry about weight or that kind of thing. So we're lucky in that aspect. As long as we're performing, we're not being stupid. They don't really care what we do.
I always looked forward to the GPS lunches back in the day. What are the lunches like nowadays? Or the teas or the dinners or... Oh, mate.
They were unreal, actually, those lunches. Sort of why you get into cricket, just for the food.
That's what I was like. All you do is, like, especially when you're batting on a 2-day game, you go in, you make... like for me, it was just a 30 or a 40. You get out, you talk to your mates for 6 hours, you eat a meal at the middle of the day, which you haven't paid for, and then you go home and sleep.
That
sounds pretty good.
That's a good day of cricket, actually. But yeah, so we're lucky. There's a salad bar that's there all day with bread.
Salad.
So I had about 3 toasted sandwiches before lunch, which is good. And then we have a hot meal, probably usually 2 options of a hot meal. And then you have afternoon tea as well. And if you're lucky, wherever you're playing, you get dinner as well. So they look after us on the food front.
That's pretty good. In terms of accommodation, do they cover that for you when you're moving? Yeah,
everything paid for, which is good. So yeah, we don't have to cover anything, which is a great outcome, really.
In terms of your career, do you have, like, by this age, I want to be playing for this team, or do you have those kinds of set goals, or are you just trying to play the best cricket?
You always have those goals, because on the longer days, or the days that you're wondering what you're doing, watching grass grow for 10 hours, then you could be at the races losing money or winning money and drinking with your mates. So 5 years' time, my 5-year goal would obviously try and be playing for Australia. That's sort of what we aim for. That's what everyone wants to play cricket for.
That's the peak.
And then that's the ideal goal. And that's 5 years. I think that's probably achievable if I do everything I can. And then 2 years' time, I want to be dominating first-class cricket, so dominating state cricket. And then this next year, hopefully just playing all the games cricket I can.
Are you signed with New South Wales in the state comp, or...?
Yeah. So I've been contracted with New South Wales for the last 4 years now. So I've been them for a while, which has been good, and hopefully for a lot longer.
Go, Cos.
I was going to say, it's handy, because I know a lot of people that, like Lawrence from school, he got contracted to Tasmania, I think. So it's pretty lucky that you're staying, like, where you're home.
Yeah, definitely. There's been a fair few people that have had to move interstate. I think this year we've had 4 people go elsewhere.
Would you be opposed to that? Would that become a roadblock for you, or is it just, it's your job, you're going to be there and
they pay for it?
Is what it is.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm lucky in the sense that New South Wales have been pretty upfront with me and where I stand, which is good. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's what we've grown up wanting to do. And if I had to move, I would move. just depending on where. It's probably a bit cold for me in Tassie. So
A lot of-
ideally, probably
A lot of seafood.
probably Brisbane. Yeah, it's not a bad spot really, but it gets awfully cold.
Yeah.
Never been.
Don't go in winter.
No.
But yeah, somewhere like Brisbane would be nice. Nightlife. Out from Gold Coast. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I was going to ask, in terms of your contract structures, is it like annually and then they renew it, or is it 4 years, 5 years? Like, how does it work?
Most of them are probably just single year deals. So you go through the year and you get 1 year deals. Sometimes they're multi-year deals, but the most is probably 2-3 years. Nothing more than that. So the most job security we get is 2-year deals, really.
Yeah. So when you were injured, were you in contract
Yeah.
at that point?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's lucky.
what do I have? I think that was my last year on that contract,
Yeah.
which was good. And then New South Wales said, we're going to get you another year. Just do what you can
that's
to
good.
get up. So I've had a lot of faith in me from the New South Wales front. So they've been very good with me.
In terms of the culture, is that a common thing? Or yeah, that's pretty good then.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially like with a high performance setup, everyone's always going to get injured. It's sort of just how best can we support them, because if they get injured and we throw them out, then what are they going to do? Especially with kids that haven't got uni or anything like that. Cricket's all they've known, so you can't just let them go, really.
Is there a lot of people that don't have a kind of backup degree or something like that? From your
Everyone's sort of
experience?
studying now,
Yeah.
which has shifted a lot in the last 5 years.
Do they
I
encourage
think-
that, you think?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have.
okay.
So every state's got a play development manager, which looks after all our off-field stuff. So whether that's unis to TAFE courses to whatever it is, he organises all that. He runs you through them all, and helps out with that process, which is good. Which is good because when we're on the road or we're playing cricket, it's nice to have that escape from what we do.
Yeah. I feel like you can't, no matter what it is, you can't do the same thing for like all the time. You need to have outlets.
Absolutely. And like everyone's realising now with lockdowns and COVID, you can't do anything that you enjoy doing. You can't go out and see friends. You can't.
Oh, bro, it's fucking killing me.
Yeah, you can't go out. You can't play your weekend sport. So what do you have really when that gets all stripped away? You can only watch so much Netflix.
Oh, I know.
Agreed.
I think I watched all of Netflix and the Big Bash bubble last year over the 2 months, which is quite embarrassing. So,
it's fine, bro.
Yeah, if you can find something else that keeps you happy without going too far outside of your house, then it's a pretty big win.
Are you in lockdown right now?
Yeah.
How are you going with it?
Yeah, pretty good. I'm used to it in the sense that the bubble over Christmas was a lot harder. Like we were in a hotel room pretty much. So do little things like uni. I started reading the Big Bash bubble last year, which is the first time I've ever read. So
Well, that book you said?
I've got to get back into reading.
Insanity drives you to do some weird things, and reading's one of them. So reading all the books. I've run out of Netflix. I've got a bit over watching TV.
That's when you get Stan, mate. You
I've got
transfer to all of them.
streaming.
Stan's no good.
Netflix, Stan, Disney, Prime.
Oh,
Binge.
fair.
I got them all. And
Okay, fair enough. I started playing chess in this one.
No, you started playing UFC and bought an
True.
Xbox.
I bought an Xbox, which is like fucking absurd from
That's a
my
good one.
friend's perspective because there's nothing to do
It's the first console he's bought since like a PS3 or something.
in like year
I'm happy
6.
with that.
Yeah,
Insanity drives you to do some
I know.
weird things.
$450, mate, for a fucking Xbox.
It's an investment, though. I bet you haven't got off it in the last 3 days.
Nah, every night because it's like nothing to do from like 8 to midnight. You know what I mean? It's just fucking. I just want to go out and see people, but everyone's in the same boat. We'll see. And I'm in the that one of the LGAs that you can't leave.
Yeah,
which is annoying. So it is what it is. At least, like I'm at uni. I'm not working full time, and I haven't lost a job. So
that's right.
who knows?
People in a lot worse situations, unfortunately, but it definitely doesn't make it any easier.
Yeah, true. Everything with perspective, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It's making me very angry, this lockdown. Like, not like at the lockdown, but just, I'm just getting
The age we're at.
very pent up. It's a lot of aggression.
There's no end date in sight at the minute. So
Yeah, and Gladys keeps fucking saying shit. That's not happening.
Well, I'm still working, and when I'm working from home, because I'm in construction. So when I work from home for a few days that I do, if I get a phone call and someone says something stupid, it's like, I don't
Picks you
know
off, mate.
Just-
Hey,
Yeah, I need to go and see someone and do something.
you need a hobby. Costin needs a hobby, mate. All Costin does is work.
Mate, there's Warhammer behind me. No, it's my brother's.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No, I wanted to
I'll
start
dress
reading
up.
again, but I've been telling myself that for weeks, months even. Hasn't started. NFL fantasy starts in a month. That'll keep me busy for a long time.
Perfect.
Maybe,
You got 30 days
maybe,
to get yourself busy then.
Yeah.
maybe you can put in a good word, Baxter. Costin's a bit of a menace with the cricket bat in his hands.
No, I was.
can-
I was. Not anymore. Known to
come
have
out
lit
of
up a few St. George rep games back in the day. Apart from that, not much going on. I've actually got to get back into it. I'm waiting till I finish uni because I work full time. So I went to Randy Pete's a couple years now ago.
Oh, yeah.
What's Randy P?
Randwick Petersham.
Oh,
Cricket
okay, yeah.
club. I did enough to make fifth grade just like as a walk-in, but then they wanted me to train the 2 times a week, which is fair enough. But then like I'd have to leave work at 3:30 and 2 times a week, and I can't.
Yeah,
So I
it
couldn't
gets
do
rid
that.
of your life outside of all that as well.
Yeah, and then uni I had to do it at nights because I did full-time uni too. And then I'm like Saturday I work as well, so Sunday was my only day to like chill. And then it was just like not worth it. But now that I've got 1 subject left this semester, then I'm done. So
How
I
good's
might
that?
go back to Kingsgrove Sports and get the odd bowling
Maybe
machine
make the
out.
fourths, huh?
We'll see. I haven't picked up a cricket bat in about a year. See how we go.
You can get Baxter to give you some lessons.
Yeah, I don't
Oh.
really want my kids.
Wait,
Yeah,
should we wrap it on that note?
yeah. I think that's a good place to wrap.
All right. Thanks for that, Baxter.
Appreciate it, mate.
Appreciate your
No dramas at
time. Nice
Good-
to hear your
good
story.
to meet
Good
you.
luck. Yeah, good to appreciate your story, mate. And thanks. I'll see you on the TV or I'll see you live, hopefully, eventually.
Too easy. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for that,
Easy.
Baxter.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Baxter.
See
See
ya.
ya.
Cheers.